Hello, welcome to the latest episode of Through the Pages. I have a book from a man who's becoming one of my favorite writers. About Grace, from Anthony Doerr. I couldn't decide if I was going to say his name or the book name first. So, bit of an emotional read. He is most well known for this right here, holding it up, because you've probably seen this cover out and about. If you're a bookworm like me, frequently haunting bookstores. One of the only war books I've ever read. As good as all the hype. If you've had a bunch of people or see this pop up, and you're like, oh, like too popular of a book to be real good. Like it is very good. It's super good. And so that's what led me when I finished that. I have like a list of like books I want to read. And so kind of when 2021 started, I was like, all right, let's get this kind of organized here. Like, what can I scratch out of here? What authors do I want to get more of? And he was one who was like, I need more from that man. And so this is his first of 3 novels that he's put out. He does have a 4th coming out. I think so. Yeah. His 4th. But I had to think for a second. I was like, wait, I can't think of what the other one is. But yeah, so total, I have COVID. I'll pass that along right now. I have COVID right now, and I don't know if I haven't been talking and socializing a lot, so I'm moving a little slower. Also congested. It's a lot of fun. So he has this new book coming out, Cloud Cuckoo Land, September 21st. Look at all that stuff I remembered. And I didn't know that until I read this, and then like I googled and like that popped up. I was like, oh, awesome. So there'll probably be another Anthony Doerr coming up on here soon. Though I will say, I looked in the plot of that one, and I don't comprehend what it like. This plot a lot easier to understand. That one too. But I trust him. So, and I always think about like there's movies that I like where if someone described the plot to me, I'd be like, I don't see. Is that even a movie? Like, So we'll see. I trust him. I just liked his writing, and that's kind of where I was just like, I just wanted to be soaked in this all day. It's a pretty expansive story. It feels like a meld of this book right here, Islands in the Stream from Hemingway, with the TV show Manifest in it, which I just finished like an hour ago. So it's about this man, and this is a no spoiler as always novel review here. But he has premonitions, mostly related to someone dying or potentially about to, and that sort of thing. And so kind of just following intuition on that, and where that leads him, his family. And it's a big story, and it's basically half a man's lifetime. And what's surprising is that it's able to do all of that, and it doesn't feel like you're like stuck in this ellipsis, or like just like all right, like let's get to the plot. Like it all, like every bit of it was important, and it's just written so beautifully that like minute things from a day where you're just like, I guess could that have been edited out? And like, no, it was great. That's what makes the book. It makes me think of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, where those are some long books, and there's so much detail to them, corroborated by his wife in this book right here. Any Girl with the Dragon Tattoo fans, read this book. It's written by his lifetime partner, technically not wife. Big ordeal afterwards with how his trust and everything would go. But so that series ended up being continued by an author who basically said, I can write more of these characters, but shrunk them down, way less details. And as his wife or partner said, like that's because it was our life. We lived in those neighborhoods. That's where there were so many details and stuff. And so just because something could be edited out and the plot still remains, that's what takes a book from like great to good. And so that's why I think this book is great, is that there's such level of emotional detail conveyed through the everyday life that you get to understand the person they are better. And it just, he painted a very vivid picture of a faraway land, and I don't know, everything about the family. Like I lost my mom young, and so I feel like when it's something coming up about like a family member and like death and this sort of stuff, like I think sometimes people are like, that's some heavy stuff, like I'm shying away. Like I can sit with that. Like, and this was real good. If you want to get all up in your feels, but have a little weirdness in there too, like not a ton. It's not sci-fi, nowhere near sci-fi. Like, but there's enough that there's some intrigue there. Like I always feel like if there's a little bit of like doesn't happen just like that in this world that we're in, it allows for so much. Like it's a lot of confine removed, and so he plays well with that without it being hokey. You know, it's just incredible. Like I just saw his picture on the back, smiling. I'm just like looking at him. It's like, God, you're the man. Yeah. About Grace, snowflakes on the cover because he's a guy who studies snow and like the shape of snowflakes and water structures and things like that. So there's a lot of that detail in there as well too, where it just like you either were that in a past life or someone really coached you through it, because like yeah, there's a lot of research in there just to build the character out, and that's a same with All the Light We Cannot See. I saw an interview with him where he discussed it, of like looking into radios a bunch and was just fascinated by them, and he does the research for sure, and so I'm very excited for his next book. It could literally be about anything. It could be about a day he painted a room, and I'd be like, I'm in. Like Anthony Doerr, like you're gonna pull on my heartstrings. So, yeah. His first book was The Shell Collector, and I believe that was a series of short stories, but that seemed to get like big praise. So I know I'll probably read his new one when it comes out new, because I like reading some like current books, especially if I'm gonna post his YouTube videos. Because you guys tend to thumbs up and view and share a little bit more. But I wouldn't be surprised if Shell Collector is in by the end of the year, which would be 3 Anthony Doerr books in a year. What a treat. So yeah, if you're comfortable sitting your emotions a little bit, it's a great one. It's less heavy than All Light We Cannot See, I will say. Less heavy. Maybe that's debatable. Of course it's debatable. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking. If you've subscribed, that's awesome. That's really cool. Thank you. Have a good evening. It's nighttime here.